is wait, no. Wait, yes. No. Oh, I have 2 flame jugglers. So yeah, 1 flame juggler became forbidden ritual. Let's see, this guy, he's got like 2 crazed alchemists and a dark iron dwarf. And he's not running he's not running the Argent Squire. I think Argent Squire is too good not to run here. Wow, Dude and Hot Meowth are running the exact same deck. That's interesting. And this guy, Teray, is running 1 Argent Squire. Alright, so on a brief look at these things, I'm gonna go with this version. Make some very slight changes. Side note, I can't wait to play Disco Lock, which I don't know whether or not it'll actually be better than Zoo Original, but maybe it will be. So I think the 1 flex card in this deck is Flame Juggler, but Argent Squire is also a flexible card. I'm thinking about Crazed Alchemist and whether or not it might be better or worse than Flame Juggler. I think there's a lot of 1 health guys right now that people are playing between Argent Squire and Fiery Bat. So, and Abusive. So I'll keep the Flame Juggler. So this is 1 card different from like really old Zoo. I'm not sure when I made this deck, but it was a long time ago. So an old favorite returns. So why have I decided to revisit a really old deck? Well, 1, it seems like a lot of decks out there right now are board control-y decks or aggressive decks. And it turns out that I still think that no deck is better at board controlling than Zoo. So I'll play Zoo as the flexible slot here, since I think I've tested out most of the stuff I want to test out in week 2 of Karazhan. It's been a good journey. This too is Karazhan Science, seeing if an old deck manages to beat out all the other decks.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild. Your souls.
Like with all the druids in the meta too, so he was pretty good against that. So enjoy the possible space elevator to rank legend here, I think. Which of the decks you tried out during week 2 did you find the most enjoyable? Tried out a bunch. Most enjoyable. I think I enjoyed playing Priest after so long of not playing Priest. It was fun seeing how Priest was actually pretty good. On week 2. But once the other decks get their cards week 3 and 4, I'm not sure that'll stay the same. And I'm not sure that Priest is actually strong enough to hold still, so we'll see.
Buying or selling.
Alright, a legitimate pick of Shifter's Heiress, that's always fun. There's some people joking about how they thought Darkshire Councilman is bad. Darkshire Councilman turns out to be pretty good, but surprisingly, it's getting cut out of a few zoos. Because it is slow when you don't control the board, but it's really good if you control the board on turns 1 and 2, and that's what Zoo is doing in this Karazhan meta. People are kind of neglecting their turn 1, so Zoo is going to get a head start on them, and then Darkshire Councilman is really good at just being there as a 3-mana 1/5. Pretty good Darkshire Councilman. It just used basically an Innervate plus a 5-mana card to deal with the 3-mana card. Because he has 1 mana floating there. Ooh. That's a really good card to play. Super good. Now the question is whether or not it's better than the other plays, and unfortunately it isn't, but oh, it's so good. I have to play so off curve though. There will be more opportunities for Shifter's Errors. That card would be overpowered in Zoo. Like, holy crap. It's between Power Overwhelming and Abusive Sergeant and Direwolf Alpha. And Defender of Vargas. Druids with Nourish. If he's hitting that 2/2, it means it's swipe. Oh, never mind. Well, sure.
I fight.
Behold the rage of the Fireland. The land serves me.
Yeah, win, I guess.
I concede.
I wonder how many stars I can get in like 2 hours. Maybe I should do Karazhan Theorycraft while playing Zoo. Since I can kind of do this autopilot, right?
Gul'dan versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer, your soul shall be mine.
Let's see. Turns out that none of the 2-drops are actually that good in this matchup. So the ideal was to draw more 1-drops. Assuming that it's aggro shaman, which it may not be. Because some shamans have lost their way.
I fight.
I possibly should have kept Soulfire there. Good answer against the Totem Golem.
I fight.
Get it out! Get it out!
Zoo has been a top tier deck since vanilla practically. Think that it will ever fall off? No, I mean it's just an archetype. It's like, why would it fall off? Life tap and small efficient minions are so good. Played this to play around Lightning Storm. This deck is just really good when decks that plan to win with minions exist in the game. And Karazhan is kind of minion focused. I haven't seen very many catch-up mechanisms yet, although that is a really good one.
Extraordinary.
Wow. Will you play the Beast Druid after the new wing comes out? Of course. That's probably the first deck that I'll play. And I'm thinking about putting in the Creator in as well, because Azure Drakes and Beasts, of course, and then maybe put in a Finley. Either that version, I'm not sure if that version or the vanilla Beast Druid is going to be better. Do you see Abusive Sergeant potentially seeing a change next January? I have to imagine Abusive Sergeant is one of the cards that's being looked at. The value for a 1-drop is insane. It's like a 4-1 for 1. I actually don't want to get Sea Giant taunted because it's probably the Hex target. And not just the 4-1 for 1, but like part of the 4-1 for 1, it has charge. You know, while I'm playing Zoo, you should consider this like a Q&A period as well, because I've played this deck enough to basically know how it plays. So I'll be much more willing to chat it up. See. So I either play both Direwolves or I play Peddler. I play Peddler. Power Overwhelming. Yeah, send it into the 4-5.
Into the breach!
I should have played Wolf there. Done one more damage. Should I play Wolf now? Nah, they're on AoE. Do you really enjoy playing this deck? No I don't. I prefer doing science. But this too is science. I guess this also is science. How does a Zoo deck perform against the variety of Karazhan stuff out there? My theory is that because the Karazhan stuff out there currently seems to revolve around controlling the board and then winning off of it, that this deck is brilliant. There's one deck that I kind of wanted to try out, I suppose, which is the Patrons with the Arcane Giants. But I think I'll just skip that one. That deck, by the way, is pretty good against this one. But this is kind of like the baseline. In all science, you have to have a control group as well.
Get in there, fight, maggot.
So use Zoo as a control group and see how it does against the field of all the stuff that Karazhan is throwing at you. Like, here's the difference between trying to hit Legend rank 1 and trying to do Science. If I'm trying to hit Legend rank 1, I would probably analyze, like, I mean, I've seen, through the last week, I've played a bunch of decks, I see what everyone else is playing, I see what's good, what's bad. And through all the decks I've been playing, every time I play them, I'm like, you know, I feel like Zoo would be really good against this deck, and I've been holding off that temptation to play Zoo. But now I'm going to play Zoo and see what it's like. Perhaps when we get to Legend, there's a different meta and decks are built to beat Zoo, but for now I'm going to take advantage of this momentary Zoo is really good phase. Possibly. Is Zoo still good without Imp Gang Boss? It's less good. I understand it costs quite a lot of gold to get it, but it's a really good card. Well, yeah, you can replace it with Showered Sun Cleric, I guess. Should I tap here? Threatens Lightning Storm, I think. The board's really good right now. Most Karazhan decks are going through iterations. Wouldn't most established decks do better anyways? Well, I mean, you have to remember, Karazhan's only 45 cards, so you can kinda... I can kinda get a sense of how it's going to turn out. I think I'm gonna tap Squire here. He seems to be a control shaman. I think he's just waiting for the right time to AoE me. So this is actually a little bit of a... there's some decision making to make in this game. Based off of thinking he's got all the AoE in his hand. Where was I though? Where was I? Oh, Karazhan deck. So basically, you can kind of take a look at all the Karazhan decks and be like, you know, the overall goal of this deck is going to be to attempt to board control. Probably. And then you can kind of see, oh, well then Zoo's going to be pretty good because the goal is to board control. Wow, he's desperate. Look at this poor guy. Maybe he couldn't play his Tunnel Chog on turn 1 since, well, no, he could have. Anyways. He looks to be in bad shape.
I fight.
Maybe this is one of those totem decks? Should I even play this? Nah, I'm just gonna Lightning Storm. Although it has a 50-50 chance of surviving Lightning Storm.
It's getting hot in here.
He's played a lot of CCGs besides Hearthstone over the past few months. Do you have a favorite? I like the ones which have like something quite different, which is the ones that have hex-based movement as well. I'll give me a moment to think about which one in particular I like most. Let's see, Dark Peddler makes it a 3, Defender of Arceus makes it a 4, and then 5. That's probably good enough.
So mine more silly.
I think I have to choose this since I'm low on health.
My seal.
So there's some pros and cons to every one of those. Duelist is ugly, but it's very solid, and I like the way they release cards. Fury is super slow and makes people sleepy, but it is pretty. Something between the two would be really good.
My pretty totems. My pretty. My pretty.
Ooh, impressive. Is he going to get me with these totems? These pretty totems.
Put this apple on your head.
And also, I just realized that, like, could have killed the totem and then not been able to play the Sea Giant, which would have been incredibly bad. Oh my gosh. Is this... How is he going to win this game? Impossible. Playing this janky Wicked Witch Doctor card? Where did I go wrong? So there's a turn where he played Thing from Below. I don't know. How can I possibly lose against this? I don't... It's very disappointing. I'm disappointed. That is also a terrible draw.
I wonder.
Definitely haven't lost yet. It's getting there.
Dares summon me. A paltry task.
I got so distracted talking that I don't know how I lost. I haven't lost yet, though. The deck doesn't have that much burst. That Primal Fusion was pretty good. Maybe his hand is trash and it's like 2 Totemic Mites.
My pretty. In the light
I did get unlucky by having 2 Forbidden Rituals and 2 Doom cards in my hand. Slight bitterness.
Put this apple on your head.
Why do you
We're still in it. Despair.
Well played.
That deck should be incredibly bad against this deck. I'm sad. Too many questions. Thank you, No Shame, for the donation. Let me look at it.
Gul'dan versus Garrosh. Victory or death.
Your soul.
Yes, which deck do you recommend to climb ladder as fast as possible? I have no shame, so anything goes. Wow, try this deck. You apparently didn't listen to my spiel before you gave me $5. When did you just donate? 5:06, 4 minutes ago? I guess you must have just tuned in or something, because I pretty much went into a spiel about there's a difference between doing science and there's a difference between winning. And sometimes winning is not popular because it doesn't look very cool or flashy, but I think this deck's pretty good. I'm basically no shaming it right now. The totem deck is better than it looks. Primal Fusion is a 1-mana +2 or +3. Well, that's the thing. You have to consider the zoo against that deck. The zoo is really good against that type of deck because it's a board control deck and kills their stuff. I had to play around Lightning Storm, which was very tricky though. The combination of his Lightning Storm into his like very cheap 0-mana 5/5 or something must have killed me. And I held so many cards because I was playing around Lightning Storm for a while, but maybe I should have been willing to like play the Voidwalker on turn something, for example, instead of holding it. No, the turn of that, he played Lightning Storm, that was correct. Like, there's some kind of organization that I could have done, I'm sure, to make that better, but I'm not playing it full power right now, I guess?
Get in there, fight!
Excuses, excuses. How do you decide between Leroy and Doomguard? Doomguard is better if the meta is more about board control. Leroy is better if it's more control oriented. Decks that don't care about board control. Decks that aren't as board control centric. Opinion me. Because of Brawl, I'm going to play it a bit slower here and tap. Change the title, this is not Karazhan Science. Well, here's the thing. Finding out how an old deck does against Karazhan type decks is also science. And it is also the control group. So I consider this very important science that is being done. That was a very unusual play.
My shield for Argon! We're gonna be rich!
Interesting. See, this guy's doing science. Well, we're all doing science. I spent the last 6 days, and I took the weekend off, playing Karazhan decks. I deserve this Z moment. Don't take this away from me. So that means he's only playing 1 Brawl in his deck.
So many possibilities.
Let's see. Power Overwhelming on a 2/2. Tap into Forbidden Ritual, I think. Oh, right, that doesn't die, so I only get 3. Oh well.
The truth cannot be stopped!
Blah, blah. Could you explain how this is Karazhan Science once more, but with an anime analogy? Well, the interesting thing is anime keeps things fresh, and they like keep trying and learning new techniques. So I suppose a good anime analogy would be a protagonist uses a move that he learned he or she learned really early on to take down a future boss. Can anyone think of an example of that? How do you feel about mid-range hunter in this meta? I'm stuck at rank 3 with 50% win rate. I found about the same results as you did, so I stopped playing mid-range hunter.
I'll do it.
Wow, that's... Did I think this through? I'm gonna get wrecked by the ghoul.
Get in there and fight, maggot. Get
And
in
also I used both of these to do damage to face and not to minions. Alright, no ghoul. Always lucky. Can you please talk about positioning in zoo, Imp King, Boss, and Wolf, etc.? Imp King Boss goes on the left because the spawns spawn on the right. So you therefore want to put it on the left because Direwolf Alpha wants to be placed in the middle, therefore you want weak guys in the middle, you never want Divine Shield guys in the middle. I always put Divine Shield guys on the right as a priority, or Death Rattle guys, and then to the left afterwards. And that's probably ideal.
Put this apple on your head.
So note that I put that guy in the middle, because this is the guy that most wants to be Direwolf Alpha in the future.
Fight.
The TLDR is you want to put your minions that don't have Divine Shield and Death Rattle in the middle, your Divine Shield and Death Rattle minions want to be on the left and the right, your Imp King Boss wants to be on the left. And that's pretty much solely for the reason of Direwolf Alpha.
Put this apple on your head.
Why do you call?
What about Argus? Well, usually you're fine Argusing any two cards, but of course if you see that the board state is going to be something and then you have the Argus in your hand, you'll want to position things so that you get two things good with Argus. At the same time though, you might think Argent Squire is the card that I most want to Argus, so I should put Argent Squire in the middle. That turns out to be a major downfall a lot of the time. Not a major downfall, but it's something annoying that can happen to you. Like, say you put it in the middle and then you draw your Direwolf Alpha at some point and your Argent Squire still has Divine Shield, then you can't do the shuffle. How do you feel about Gormok in this list? In this list, I am against Gormok because Doomguard wants you to get rid of as many cards as possible, and Gormok is a pretty expensive card. Gormok is pretty good in the Leroy version, though, the Leroy version with the Soulfire.
What now? I must choose. What now?
Fancy plays. The opponent seems to be a control warrior. He's drawn only low cost cards. And he's running out of cards. I will probably draw something, but do I risk it? By tapping here, I'm going to try to draw a card that costs 2 or less. I have 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And I didn't count a few because Power Overwhelming is bad and Forbidden Ritual is bad. No, if I tap in Forbidden Ritual, that's actually quite good. Yeah.
I can wait no longer.
So I'm looking for Abusive or Power Overwhelming here. Will Elven Archer do it? I don't think so. Unfortunately, since I tapped, it doesn't do it. Elven Archer probably the best card here, though.
My shield for Argus.
Alright, so he's gonna start gaining a lot of armor, but that's mostly okay. I think this is a board control fight. Vito. 2, 3, 4, 7. So I can tap. Double check. 2, 3, 4, 7. So I can tap.
The light protects me. One shot, one kill. Give it a shot. I fight.
He hasn't played any ghouls yet, or brawl. I think he's gonna get this one. That's not definite.
Why do you call?
Oh no, 2 unfastened door.
Buying or selling. A paltry task. You command.
Why do you call?
Still have the other Doom Guard. Oh, there's Ravaging Bull in the mail at last. 5-7. He fought hard. I guess he wins this one.
Well, you win this time.
Thank you to Linny for 23 months of subbing. I'm glad that you've enjoyed my stream for so long when you also have such an awesome stream yourself.
Gul'dan versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! Your soul shall be mine!
Do you think Runic Egg would be good in Zoo?
Get it out! Get it out!
I think it can be tried in Zoo. I'm not sure whether or not it will be good. It's no Neruvian Egg, that's for sure, though.
Buying or selling.
Runic Egg is really good design. So people are saying, I mean, there's a lot of accurate criticism in the sense that this is like curved stone. But Runic Egg is interesting because it's a 1 mana which obviously doesn't seem to do anything on itself, but control decks might be able to curve with it on turn 1. They're usually lacking turn 1 plays.
It's getting hot in here!
Do I risk it? Knife Juggler hit? No, I don't.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
And just having that egg be some sort of board presence can be quite helpful. Something you can Kings later, or like Defender of Argus, or something. I reckon it's something that's more used for control decks. What hero have you enjoyed playing the most since the new adventure dropped? For me, it's Priest, just because it's been a very long time since I've played Priest. Oh my gosh, the Ghoul Wreckage. Why am I playing against Warriors? They're not supposed to be this much in the meta. Oh my gosh. Brutal.
Put this apple on your head.
Why do you fall?
I wield the power.
Dragon Warrior continues to be good against Zoo, but one of the reasons why Zoo might be good right now is because there's not a lot of Dragon Warriors playing. Except right now. It's okay.
Get it out!
I'm just
Get
bitter.
it out!
It's just variance. Probably. Probably concede after this next game. When does the Menagerie open? In about 18 hours and 30 minutes. And actually exactly 18 hours, 30 minutes. 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Maybe I don't concede yet. No, I won't concede. Not yet. Okay, I concede.
You win this time.
Will you play aggro Morose Paladin? I think I've tried nearly every single deck that's come about No, I can't even say. I've tried a lot of different decks. That's one of the ones I've tried. Check out YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. This is not the rocket ship I hope to go on. The two kind of, what's the word? Old meta warriors is variants as well.
Your soul shall be mine.
The light protects me. I fight.
Play it as aggressively as possible.
This guy's toast.
Impressive. Will you play Aggro Shaman? I don't think Aggro Shaman is that good compared to Zoo due to the... I have to understand the mentality behind why I'm playing this deck. Actually, Aggro Shaman would probably be pretty good. Maybe not. Anyways, this deck will take advantage of the board control. This deck will hopefully be able to take advantage of its board control nature, which I think is strong against this meta. That's why I'm playing Zoo. I gave up Doomguard for Leroy because of the discard. Why not play the Leroy Zoo instead of for the big finish? The reason is I think Doomguard is better against the control meta. Against a meta where controlling the board is really strong.
It's getting hot in here.
More selling.
Oh, never lucky. Let's see. You prefer starting first or with coin in this deck? I think the stats have been done, and starting without the coin in this deck gives you actually a substantial win rate boost. What do you think of N'Zoth Rogue in the current meta? Seems weaker than other N'Zoth decks, so therefore not really worth considering.
Ha, this guy's toast.
Do you think mid-range Hunter will rise in popularity because Deadly Shot is one of the few ways to stop Beast Druid combo? That is a really detailed thought there. I'm not sure. It's way too early to say when you're talking about a micro decision as micro as that one. Will we see any arena videos soon? Probably. I mean, this month is the Karazhan release month, so all the new stuff is constructed. Well, I mean, you see the new cards in Arena. The Arena new cards start getting out, like, with the Arena boost after all the wings have come out, so after that I'm much more likely to do so. Let's see. After seeing Maelstrom Portal in action, has your opinion changed on it? Yeah, I mean, it's better than I thought it was. Are you gonna play WoW Legion? Almost certainly not. World of Warcraft is a great game, and I put thousands of hours into it, but I think after you put in like thousands of hours, which any game like becomes not so great.
The pleasure is mine.
It's incredible that it lasted that long. World of Warcraft's a great game. It's just, you know, you play it for a few thousand hours and it's like, okay, I think I'm done with the game. Have you given up on getting into the next HWC? Yes, because it's not possible, but
Thank you.
it's okay. Trump 2017. Alright, so all I need is +2 damage and +4 damage. The card's too slow, so I probably won't play it.
Put this apple on your head.
Buying or selling.
Zoo with a losing record. I cry every time. I cry every time. Well, this too is science, though.
I got the best deals anywhere.
We hunger for vengeance. Hey, you want to buy a funnel cake?
This must be the worst variance ever. Oh, actually, I haven't lost. I'm probably going to win, aren't I? We'll see. Well, that's some pretty bad drawing, man.
Get in there and fight, maggot! Get in there and fight, maggot!
So we drew a card, and he drew a card from my class. Drew a card,
Pleasure is mine.
and that's a disarray. Despair.